big semi-final coming up, India versus Germany in men's hockey. Ahead of that, we have the mental coach of the Indian hockey team, Paddy Upton, who has also worked with the Indian cricket team. Remember India's travel to the peak in 2011 and winning the World Cup. That's when Paddy was a part of the Indian cricket team. Thank you very much for talking to us at this very crucial moment. Paddy, you took the Indian hockey team through some exercises to overcome fear. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this Olympic journey has started a long time ago. It's been a long journey that we've built bit by bit. And really, probably the main and final preparation piece was we took the team to Switzerland for 3 days. And the idea there was there is very little that you can actually prepare for what an Olympic experience is like, particularly for the first timers at an Olympics, with the amount of athletes, the amount of pressure, the amount of moving parts is beyond what most of the athletes would experience and could experience in sport. Mm-hmm. So we looked to see how could we replicate some of this outside of sport. And that's really what the 3 days in Switzerland, and there was probably three main themes. One was to expose them to pressure, nerves, fear and anxiety, possibly beyond which they will experience at the Olympics. We needed to find a way to do that, which we did. We wanted to take them well out of their comfort zones, which again, for any Olympic first timer, being in an environment like this is something none of them would have experienced. So we wanted to take them further out of their comfort zones that they'd ever been taken. And at the same time, with that pressure, fear, anxiety out of comfort zones, the challenge was, how do you still maintain your calm, maintain your composure? Because the reality, some of what we did in Switzerland did take the players beyond their edge of fear, made them very uncomfortable. And if they made mistakes, the consequence would have been greater than just losing a hockey match. So it was very real.
And what would it have been, Paddy?
When you're in the mountains and you're on a cliff and you're roped in and you make mistakes because of fear, it's more than losing a hockey match. So we needed to be able to be under that pressure and still be able to think straight, remain composed, execute, support each other through what we went through.
Paddy, I'll have to ask you a little bit about the similarities that you dealt with in the Indian cricket team back in 2011. Even before that, the biggest fear of losing to Australia. And India overcame that fear. Talk to us, has there been any similarities between that campaign of India overcoming the fear of losing against big teams and,
So a very big part of going into big events is not being too desperate to win, because that takes the volume of pressure up too high. So we need to know, of course we want to win, but the focus is on, so what are the important things we need to do to set up for the win? So we need to decrease the desperation of winning, and at the same time, no one wants to lose, but if you're too scared to lose, it inhibits performance. So we needed to reduce the fear of failure. And I think one of the similarities between the Indian cricket team I met 12 years ago and this Indian hockey team is probably I met a team that had too much respect for a team like Australia, who are a lot bigger, they're a lot more physical, they're a lot more aggressive compared to the Indian hockey players and cricketers who are more focused on their skillfulness, and they're more gentle-natured and mild-natured personalities, and they tended to be intimidated. But when we realize that our skill is superior to Australian skill, we don't need to match their physicality. We need to be smart in our strategies to be able to get around their physical game and not try and match fire with fire, but to match the Indian magic against the Australian aggression and fire.
So it's the big semi-final coming up, India versus Germany.